This is one of my must-watch movies every Halloween season, which I am missing right now, so let's do it. Haunt is about this group of friends that goes to a Halloween party on Halloween night. So we have Harper, who's pretty much our main character, and we learn pretty early on that she is in an abusive relationship with this dickwad named Sam. And then we have Bailey, who's her roommate. They meet up with their friends Mallory and Angela, and they also meet up with Nathan and Evan. So a couple times throughout the night, Harper starts to see this dude in this devil mask, like kind of stalking her, and she's obviously getting freaked out. And again, abusive relationship, so she's really thinking that it's Sam. Eventually, the group leaves the party, and they're like, we should go to a haunted house. So they find this one online, and they end up going, and it's like on this dark, sketchy road, and it has this light-up sign in the middle of fucking nowhere. And when they pull up, they encounter this fucking clown. He does not speak, but he gives them liability waivers that they sign, and then they have to lock their cell phones up. The red flags are fucking waving. So they go in, and at first it's just a bunch of cheap scares, like skeletons popping out, fake cobwebs. But then they come across this performance, or so they think, of this girl screaming for help getting branded by one of the masked actors. But eventually the group gets separated, so Harper, Evan, and Mallory end up together, and Bailey, Angela, and Nathan end up together. They come across this armhole thing where you're supposed to stick your hand in and guess the body part. So the first one's like pasta, it's supposed to be brains. The second one's grapes, it's supposed to be eyes. And eventually Bailey goes to stick her hand in the last one and something grabs her. When she finally gets free and pulls herself out, she notices that her forearm has been slashed. Meanwhile, Mallory, Evan, and Harper come to this maze that they have to crawl through. So Evan and Harper go first, however, when they turn around, Mallory's nowhere to be found. So the rest of the group ends up meeting back up. They're obviously freaking out because Bailey's now injured. And suddenly this other room is revealed where we see the actor that branded that girl earlier. And this time they pull out a body bag that has Mallory in it. And during this performance, Mallory is impaled through the head with a fire poker. So now the group is freaking the fuck out even more, and Nathan decides that he's gonna go to the exit. He ends up in this really creepy fucking room with all these covered mannequins. You don't know which one's gonna move. But eventually, this actor pops out and tells Nathan his name is Mitch. And Nathan is like, my friend is hurt and my other friend just died. So Mitch comes back to the others. They're all fucking pissed off. And he's like, your friend isn't dead. It was just a performance. She was part of it. And at one point, Evan asks him, like, take your mask off. I want to see your face. What's your last name? They're like interrogating the actor. Eventually, he agrees to give Parker his keys so that they're able to get out. And he agrees to take them back through the maze and help them get out. However, we very quickly realize that he's a fucking liar too, because he sends them through this trap door and then closes it so they can't escape. And then his friends show up. As they're trying to run away, this guy in the devil mask shows up, and this is the guy that Harper had seen earlier, and he impales Angela with a pitchfork and kills her. And then he goes for the rest of them. The group ends up getting separated again, and Harper eventually comes face to face with the devil, and she looks at him and says, please don't hurt me, Sam, because she still thinks that this is her abusive boyfriend. But he proceeds to take his mask off and reveal that this is his face. And he says, who's Sam? But before he's able to do anything, Nathan comes in and knocks him out and saves her. They end up finding all of their phones, but turns out the phones were fried in the microwave by the clown guy from the beginning who takes off his mask to reveal that he looks like this. Meanwhile, Evan ends up making it outside with Mitch, but when they get out there, Mitch is like, do you still want to see my face? And he attacks Evan and kills him by putting a hammer in his teeth and just ripping his whole face off. And then he reveals that his face looks like this. Nathan and Harper end up finding that one of the phones is actually working, and Nathan manages to send their location to Harper's abusive boyfriend, Sam. Nathan makes it out of the house, but Harper somehow gets separated from him and ends up in this bedroom. And we learn that this bedroom weirdly resembles the place where Harper's childhood trauma took place. Because when she was a child, she witnessed her father abusing her mother while she hid under the bed. So there's all these like cryptic messages around saying, find the key, there's this door. Eventually Harper ends up finding the key as Devil Mask comes in. But when she frantically takes the key to the door, she hears a ticking, and then all of a sudden a shotgun goes off and shoots her in the shoulder. Devil Mask gets on top of her and starts strangling her, but she manages to move his head up so the shotgun goes off again and shoots him, and he dies. Harper then sees another performer in a skull mask coming towards her and attacks it with a pitchfork, but then she takes the mask off and reveals that it is Bailey, and the performance had captured her, tied her up, and disguised her as one of them. Harper cries over her and says, I'm sorry, as she dies. Meanwhile, Sam has followed the location and ends up finding the house looking for Harper. But when he arrives, he very quickly is killed by the dude in the clown mask. Nathan goes back inside to find Harper and the others and ends up getting attacked by Mitch. Harper is then attacked by another performer in a zombie mask who she manages to fight off. And then she also fucking kills Mitch and saves Nathan. This girl's a fucking beast. So the two of them end up coming across another performer who takes his mask off and is like, listen, I wanted no part in this. They forced me. I didn't kill anybody. And he explains that all their performers are part of this cult that does extreme body modifications to themselves, which they do in order to make themselves look like real monsters. As this dude is about to help them escape, he is shot by the dude in the zombie mask. Harper and Nathan start to run, but then they encounter the one in the witch mask. There's so fucking many of them. But Harper manages to kill this one by slamming his head in this trap door in the floor. So the two of them make a run for it, but they are once again attacked by the dude in the zombie mask, but Nathan proceeds to kill him with a baseball bat. And the two of them end up getting in Sam's truck and driving away. They are safe. Meanwhile, we see Clown Mask, who is like the ringleader of this whole thing, burning the attraction down so there is no evidence. So Nathan and Harper end up waking up in the hospital, and as Harper wakes up, a nurse comes up to her and asks her to put her address on this release form, and that's when it clicks in Harper's mind that they also put their addresses on the release forms at the attraction. And sure enough, we see Clown Mask arriving at Harper's home, where her mother lives and where her childhood trauma happened. However, when he walks in, he is caught in a trap very similar to the traps that were set in the attraction. And then Harper comes out with a shotgun and kills him, and the movie ends.